Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Parliamentary Secretary. It certainly would absolutely astonish me if the Canadian branches of the Five Eyes, CSIS, the RCMP, and so on, were not keeping anyone associated with overseas engagement in ISIS activities under very close watch and surveillance. But I think there's an opportunity here that we ought to talk about, and that is, these are monstrous people and a monstrous organization. And I certainly have heard in the media the stories of people who've left ISIS, gotten away from ISIS, and been so traumatized by it. If we get their voices out there to provide a counterbalance, the honourable member is quite right, the use of internet and social media to mislead and attract people to their horrific activities. I mean, ISIS is right now in collapse, but we thought al-Qaeda was gone, and then ISIS sprung up. These will remain threats. They're active and quickly change names, quickly change leaders. We can't ignore the threat that people who've returned from that might be, from those activities engaged with ISIS on behalf of ISIS for their caliphate. But what if within those returning Canadians are voices of those who could inoculate other youth from being mistakenly led to go overseas? Can the Government of Canada do more to find those voices from those who've returned?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
And, you know, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the question, and that's why, whether it was the Minister for Public Safety or the Parliamentary Secretary, where they've really picked up on that particular point. You know, it's not like you have individuals that come back to Canada and they're lost amongst 36 million other people. Our security services agencies will continue to do the fine work that they have done. You know, it's one of the reasons why, you know, back in June, just this year, we launched the new project, Mr. Speaker. It was the Canada Centre for Community Engagement and the Prevention of Violence. This is an excellent program that was just introduced last June by the government, because we genuinely want to intervene and try to prevent young people, for whatever reasons, through social media and possibly other mechanisms where they are attracted to that extreme positions. And I believe by taking a proactive approach, and when I say you know, this isn't something that's unique to the Government of Canada. Countries around the world have recognized this, that this is the type of thing in which we need to do. In the long term, that's how we're going to make our communities, not only at home but also abroad, a safer place to be, because none of us support the type of terrorist activities that take place and the horrific actions by these individuals. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.